Can work versus will work. Here's one of the most common debates I get into with people on social media when it comes to realistic street self-defense. The problem with can work is that, say for example, someone's coming up from behind, they put you in a rear naked choke, and you go to strike their groin. If it lands, it most likely will work. So it can work. However, there's a chance that you don't hit it on the first try. Maybe they turn sideways. Maybe you don't have the precision because you're hitting something that you can't see. And the problem with the risk versus the reward. If you're in that rear naked choke, you're not going to have very long before you pass out. So a safer way of dealing with the situation is making sure you deal with the choke first. You have to deal with the highest level threat before you go into the self-defense move. You have to make sure you don't pass out before you go for anything else. Same thing with the choke from the front. People are saying, punch them in the face, kick them in the groin. Same thing, could work great if it lands. So it can work, but it's not good enough. You have to look at self-defense as concepts. You have to look at the highest level threat first. You have to deal with that. Then you can deal with the secondary threat, which is the attacker, and then you have to change it into aggression where you're attacking them versus vice versa, where they're attacking you. So again, understand that self-defense has to not be can work, but it has to be will work for it to be realistic in a street self-defense situation. When I was in the military, one of the things that we learned all the time was Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. You always want to take the worst case scenario as the example that you train from. As in, certain things might become easier as the fight goes on. If you hit that strike to the groin or you land that punch, of course it's going to be easier to deal with the attacker in front of you. But we're going to take that as a bonus. We're going to prepare for the worst case scenario so that anything else but the worst case scenario is going to be easier for us. If that is ever the case, the worst case scenario, and you haven't prepared for it, you're not going to know how to deal with it. So always train for the worst case scenario so that it will work versus it may work. Share this with a loved one and be sure to subscribe.